Okay, I've been consulting the whore, and the whore, well, she has told me that Donald Trump is really, 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 really about to reappear on the world stage. I know because over the past number of, I don't know how long has it been that we've been talking about Donald Trump, as president, and then before that, everything on TV, all that. I didn't even watch that Apprentice, and I don't know. He was on Barbara Walters back in the 1980s. I mean, my goodness, it's just the name. He's been Donald Trump since like the 1980s. He's been around that long. And I know there's been so many times he's been skewered over and over again that he is like a massively rich one percenter. And over and over again. Because I'm just like, I don't know what else to tell you. Because there's been some like flag waving about even the spirit guides that have given me the words to tell you, because there's been times when they said, well, at the beginning, like he was very interesting, and then no, he's a bullshitter, and because the biggest thing is hard to discern because he's an American, and Americans just are bullshitters. They bullshit for a living. They do. They even had a book. It was a best selling book. And the book's title was On Bullshit. Americans love bullshit because that's how they're garrulous. They can tell enormous, tall tales, great stories. And, they just do. They tell the best stories. And, we love American stories. So, the American story is going to again be Donald Trump. It has to be. It's just because Trump is the top card in the deck of cards, when you're playing a Trump game. So he has to win. And does that mean that the 1% continue to dominate us all? I don't know how to tell you this, but in my version, I can't go that way. It can't. It just can't. Because I just can't. Because I have to stick to what my spiritual. I just did some revising. That is going back, and it was like, I don't know. It was just some affirmations on YouTube, and I just let it play, and then it was just an intuitional that happened again, and it wasn't affected by those demonics that are around a lot, because sometimes they just really, really want to know. Sometimes they want to know so much that they decide to keep quiet. Really, they really, because I know, you don't know what they're like, but I know them because they're here all the time. And when they keep quiet, they really, really keep quiet. It's because they really, 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 really want to know what's going on everywhere else. The answer is the demonic want to make a legitimate business. Because at every time in mafia stories, there's always a long range plan to make the family legitimately rich. Because in the end, they were always Italian and they were wops. It's an ethnic slur. And back in the old days, no one even knows what it is anymore, probably. But WAP, WAP. Yeah, if you called somebody a WAP, it meant that they were a Dago Italian. Dago meant Roman Catholic. And WAP meant they arrived at, What's that island in New York where all the immigrants all stopped on the way across the ocean, and then before they got into New York, they were quarantined there in the harbor? Whatever that place was. So we're still listening for words to get back to the story because I'm waiting for the words to get back to that story. It's a very long wave, and that's why the words are coming in slow, because it's a very long wave, and it takes more time to send information on a long wave. On the sea, if it's a long time, when the wave goes way up and then it goes back down at this edge of the ocean, and then on the sand beach it comes back up again and down, and then sometimes it's going to be going very quickly. But if it's a slow day, then it's a long wavelength. So we're just waiting to see what other information we might get about this story. So anyways, we're listening to these affirmations on YouTube, and then I wrote one down, and it says, I have magical pay, and then it says underneath it, Jericho. Well, what does that mean? I don't know. It's just affirmations. Well, I knew there was something else I was going to tell you as the story, but then it just got washed out to sea. That whole story, whatever it was, I thought it was going to come back when the wave came back again, but it was like a treasure chest. And the rest of that story has got washed out to sea, and it hasn't come back, and I don't see it. So I don't know. Anyways, we'll have to see if that story comes back later on. But for now, that story has been. It was taken back to Davy Jones' locker for